How's it going, everyone? Happy Wednesday. We're here with El Coach, where we are going to vamp a little bit about rookies, do a little combine primer, and then we're going to rip a big board. So hop in, like, subscribe, and let's get going. GM, how's it going, El Coach? I just want to shout out. I want to shout out this man. We know he had a big season, but he sent me a gift. Here, I'll try to pull it up really quick. But he sent me a bright blue chrome Detroit Lions helmet. It'll be up right there in the corner next week. But I just want to say shout out to El Coach. This is the GOAT right here.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for inspiring me to just rip countless Best Ball Mania drafts last year. That really helped out. So just a small token of appreciation. I'm hyped that you're hyped. Excited to see it in the stream. It should be good, man.
Dude, I like the Nebraska gear there in the back. Go Huskers.
I was told on good authority that I needed to have more football stuff behind me and less plant stuff. So I added more plants and more football content. So we'll see how it goes.
I like it. So the combine is, I think all the like running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, it's all on Saturday and Sunday, I believe. Maybe into Monday. I forget the exact days, but we just want to go over a little bit of kind of what to expect for each position and in general, just how to approach the combine. And just because we don't want to, I think sometimes, obviously it's important because it informs draft capital, but some people overcount stuff and get too hyped up about whatever, a guy running a fast 40 when it doesn't necessarily mean anything other than like we might have already known that they were going to run a fast 40. So let's just go through some chats here. We got our boy Buffalo War Pig Sammy Telesco in here. I saw him comment this a couple days ago, so he was hype a couple days ago. We got AZ Mountain Man in the chat who has been grinding the streamer chat streets. I've seen that. It is a show of the people for the people, and we got our boy Ferris, and we got Red Panda. So we got the whole squad in here. And Tanner Wise. So where do you want to start off? Do you want to go quarterbacks first? In your boy JJ McCarthy? How do we approach the combine for quarterbacks and kind of like what are we looking for and what do we not want to overreact to?
Yeah. Excited to see what he comes in at. I didn't find myself. I didn't think at the beginning of the offseason that I would be standing JJ McCarthy, but I think we've been so used to watching Caleb just kind of tear everything up. And from the sound of it, I don't think he's really doing much of anything at the combine. So it'd be a good opportunity for JJ to maybe steal the spotlight a bit. Throwing drills are going to be fun. But an article you shared with me and some stuff we've kind of like talked about in the past too. There's some important workout things that they do. One of which I had no idea that the broad jump was so important for quarterbacks. That's insane.
Yeah, I can pull this up here. So this is Sumer Sports, and it's Tej Football Analytics, Tej Seth on Twitter. He's a super sharp analytics guy. I think he goes to Michigan, so we'll forgive him for that. But he is a very, very smart guy, and he just kind of wrote this article about things that correlate with different positions and what we can look for. And actually, one of the things was broad jump, which basically he's saying that obviously like broad jump isn't exactly indicative of your skills as a quarterback, but he basically said if you have a really bad broad jump, that's probably not a good sign. Just uh, which I don't know. I'm not going to put too much stock into that, but that's something just interesting. But I think quarterback is the one position where it's like I think Jaden Daniels, if he we're assuming he's going to run a fast 40, like if there's a guy where he's a runner and he's athletic, yeah, Fair says just 0.26 correlation though. Yeah, it's not something huge, but yeah, it's
Just
like we
show some burst. That's all.
exactly. We really are just looking for quarterback. I think it is an opportunity for JJ McCarthy since Caleb Williams and Jane Daniels aren't going to be throwing. They'll just be doing interviews to kind of just get him more in the spotlight. And as long as he performs up to par and looks good, makes some big Zach Wilson throws where he's throwing down the field and gets the hype going. I think that's really what it's about for quarterbacks. Is that will help inform that draft.
That Zach Wilson throw, man. Oh my gosh. That I screwed up like 2 rookie drafts because of that stupid throw. That was great. So yeah, don't double count throws. Fun fact. Yeah, it's good.
The one thing I will include for quarterbacks is I do think for Jaden Daniels and for JJ McCarthy, they're both on the smaller side weight wise, not necessarily height wise. I think they're both around 6'2", 6'3", so that's not the issue. But I do think they would get a little bit of a boost, like if they were to come. Like I think maybe McCarthy would be try to pack on some weight or just chug some water to get himself up to like a 210 or something. People will be a little bit less concerned about his weight. And Jaden Daniels, I don't know. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he was working his ass off the last couple months and put on some weight. But I think
the McCarthy thing is weird. I didn't realize he was that light. But apparently, like Michigan site has him. I saw it was like 202. They're listing him as. So it's definitely on the smaller side for QBs. Like anything, I feel like once you get under like 215, you start to get a little nervous about it. I know that was as the resident Tua stand. That was a big thing for him. Was like he was kind of hovering around that like 210 to 215 range, and then he cultivated some mass in the off season, put on a lot of weight.
He was
learned
looking
how to
real
fall.
thick last off season, yeah.
Those oak trees. But yeah, like I think there definitely is something to like you're gonna get hit a lot in the pocket. You're gonna get hit when you're stationary and stuff like that. So like I do think it's important for them to either have like enough weight that matches their frame. Like I'm not the sports science guy, but like you want it's like the Greg Maddux thing. Like you can't tear fat. Like you got to have a little bit of cushion on there.
It just helps you take some hits. Like we see Jaden Daniels just kind of just look like a cartoon character and get hit sometimes. Like it's not obviously going to affect directly your performance as a quarterback, but I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. So yeah, I mean, Caleb and Drake May, I think is throwing. So, I mean, he wouldn't be throwing if he didn't think he was going to put on a good performance. So I don't think it's going to affect that much for him. And obviously Caleb is pretty much locked in. He doesn't really need to do anything at this point. So, I'm trying to think. Bo Nix, one more guy where like if he didn't look great at the Senior Bowl, but that's not exactly an environment where it's like everyone's coming in from different programs. You just kind of a crazy environment where usually the quarterbacks and receivers, like you see some guys have some drop issues. The quarterbacks might not be on the same page with some receivers. So I think if he has some good interviews and kind of like is in the spotlight without the two main guys throwing, I think it could boost him up a little bit. But any other thoughts on quarterbacks?
I think that's kind of about it. Is Penix throwing or no?
That's a good question. I'll have to look and see really quick.
I love watching lefties throw because it just breaks my brain a little bit. And he's just got like such like as you pointed out, like the Uncle Rico, like the discus toss almost. But yeah, I mean, just excited to watch some of the other guys throw it around a little bit. I think it was the Chargers Twitter account today, like was sharing highlights of Herbo throwing back at the combine. And that is crazy to like go back and watch because he's just, it's just a laser show all over the place. And he still got passed up by like Washington and Miami, and I think Detroit too. They took a corner over him. Wasn't that the guy from Ohio State?
Yeah, the guy that they traded to Atlanta this
Yeah.
last year.
And
Yeah.
it's like the Herbert thing still like breaks my brain because like whatever, like if you have like a strong take on a QB pre-draft, like it just doesn't seem like it matters because he just like everybody was like, this dude, he can't, he's not accurate. He's not good at like processing and everything like that. And then just completely shredded the NFL. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, quarterback is just such a crapshoot, honestly. Like, if they get the draft capital, like that's like what we were saying before, like this could help get the hype up for a couple, like Penix is throwing it. I just looked it up.
Okay.
So if Penix interviews really well and the medicals check out, I think that's a big thing for him. So if those go well and maybe he gets pushed up into the first round, then okay, then that's more interesting, right? But like I don't know, numbers wise, unless it's an Anthony Richardson where he's just putting up video game athletic numbers and a 10
Yeah.
RAS, like we don't really care that much as long as the other ancillary pieces come in pretty well. So let's see what's going on. Tyler says, coach is right. Frame weight and plane weight more important than water weight for the weigh-ins. Yeah, that's 100%. Because I mean, that's 100. That's what they're doing. Like if the running back is 195, he's just chugging water. Just chugging water. He's eating as much carbs as possible to just bulk himself up to get over that 200 number.
That men's room after the weigh-ins just has to sound like they're just like frying chicken in there. Like it's just got to sound like Popeyes or something. Like it's a lot of whiz, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna want to avoid that. You're gonna have to use the bathroom in the Wendy's next door. It'll still look better than the one inside what is it, Lucas Oil Stadium? So yeah, it's gonna be real crazy. So let's go next. How about running backs? What are we looking for running backs? And any guys in this class that you're worried about or excited about, and what kind of like are we looking for those guys?
I mean, anything. I feel like we're kind of like floating around in the ether with them. I would love to see some of the, like if we get some info on Estime as far as like athleticism and stuff like that. Because right now it just kind of seems like everybody's jumbled together. Are we going to see like the speed from Benson? I think the Tennessee guy, right?
Jalen Wright, Tennessee.
Jalen Wright. I'm sorry. Yeah. The speed from him. That's kind of like about it. Like everybody else, like I guess you're just kind of checking height, weight, and athleticism with them. So yeah, the speed score. I want to see that.
Yeah, I think running back is one position where I do care a little bit more about. Like obviously, I think the threshold is 200 pounds. Yeah. We saw Achan, we saw Jahmyr Gibbs be like right around there. So those are pretty like outlier guys though. Like I think like if you're like just like a projected third rounder and you come in at like around the 200 pound mark, it's not as exciting. Like, but I'm trying to think other guys. So Blake Corum, I think he'll be pretty heavy, but I wonder if he drops a little bit of weight to try to get his 40 up a little bit, because I don't think he's going to be a burner. And I think he's pretty short. Like he might be like 5'7", which isn't necessarily bad, but and then Bucky Irving from Oregon, he's a little bit more of like a scat back type. Ferris says under 200. I was going to say, I would bet the under on the 200 on that one. So I think that's a little bit worrisome. Might push him down a little bit into like whatever, maybe fourth round instead of third round. So he'll definitely be chugging a lot of water. And
so, brother, can I ask you an alpha question?
Sure.
Is it an appropriate time? All right. So let me slide these on. All right, brother, at the bench press, Who you got putting up more reps? You got Corum or Braylon Allen? Which one, brother?
Oh, that is, you know what? I have not prepared for that one. You know what? I think I'm gonna go Braylon Allen, but I think Corum is sneaky because he's a gym rat we've seen, and he's also way shorter. Which
Yeah,
you know what?
short arms.
I'm gonna switch my answer. I think I'm gonna say Corum because
Okay.
I think Braylon Allen's gonna come in at like 6'2". Maybe that's a little bit of cap, so maybe he's 6'1". But obviously he's huge, so whatever.
Yeah,
He has the mass
but he
advantage.
has to fight more gravity. Yeah.
But I mean, as I've seen, like there was a guy in my team who was 6'7", him trying to bench versus you see like the little running back who's like 5'6", and it's just like a completely different leverage game. So yeah,
Leverage game. I love it.
Corum is the only bench press is the only thing Corum's going to be good at. Yeah, I mean maybe his vertical will be good. I don't know. I don't think he's super explosive. He was coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Um,
If his vertical's good, that means he's going to be a little bit more bursty, right? Because like that's kind of everybody's fear is that he's just going to be kind of like a plotter, basically. Like,
Yeah. Oh, Frank Gore Jr. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That's a weird one. I don't know. I don't think he's going to go super high in the draft, but I think whatever he has pretty good tape. I mean, I know it's at Southern Miss, but whatever. I don't think he's going to be someone maybe fourth round, whatever, late third round in rookie drafts. Yeah, Jalen Wright. So this is one I'm interested in because he played at Tennessee, which kind of has the like weird video game gimmicky
yeah.
offense that what's his name? Jalen Hyatt was in where they just kind of run two routes. And same thing, like did you see that stuff on Twitter where it's like
Oh, yeah.
they have
It's
like
insane.
three offensive linemen and weird shit like that? So
The lightest boxes possible. Like,
yeah, so I don't know. I think he's billed as being a guy who's going to run super fast. So I do think that could swing things a little bit. Where like if he kind of gets in like the whatever mid 4.4s range, or even faster, then maybe that boosts him up a little bit. But also he could go the other way if he kind of whatever. If it's like he's in the 4.5s and we're like, oh shit, well he's not actually as
yeah.
explosive as we thought, and that could and yeah, like you said going into it, it is just like kind of a big jumble of guys. So I do think that's the one thing that we should be taking from this is just like if someone really pops off the sheet, that might help them like be the cream of the crop and rise up a little bit. Maybe into the second round. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure. Probably some team will do it, but there's not a whatever. There's not like an elite guy. Um, Brooks obviously is injured, so that's I think he's probably RB1, but
Yeah.
I don't know. NFL teams just do some wild shit with running backs sometimes. So,
Yeah.
any other running backs you have any notes on or anything?
I think that kind of covers it. Like, just, really kind of looking at this weekend is to kind of, like you said, sort it out and see the numbers that we get and kind of see how that affects the mock drafts from there. And that'll maybe start to give us a better idea of what kind of, draft capital we're going to see for these guys and just kind of go from there. Yeah, it's running backs tough for me this year. I'm not going to lie. Like,
Yeah, so we see age and weight. It's not huge, but I would say obviously like weight isn't everything, but I do whatever. Like NFL as NFL has changed, we were talking about like it's not as important, but it still would be nice. Like Estime, Braylon Allen, Corum, if they're like 215, 220 or bigger, teams might trust them a little bit more to give them a bigger workload. So and then just whatever, 40, just
yeah,
obviously shoots off the screen for that. I do think Braylon Allen could just like steal the show in terms of just being the athletic freak of just being looking huge, which we've seen like Mike Davis
yeah.
in the summer, he shows quads and people just go nuts.
Up the draft board. Yeah,
So
man.
that I definitely think that's something to watch out for is just like how the combine affects him because these people are very divided on Braylon Allen right now. Like it's either like, oh yeah, young big, supple running back, or I don't know if he's very like if he has that great of a skill set other than just plod forward. So
Yeah, need more athleticism than AJ Dillon. I think would be good because I like that's just who it like jumps to right away, the Quadzilla. So
that's
we'll see, man.
that's a good comp, honestly. So next up, wide receiver. Why don't you kind of walk us through wide receiver? If there's any guys that you're like, what are we looking for at wide receiver? And are there any guys that whatever you're interested in, what they weigh in at, what they run, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Al Davis School of Drafting, we're just going to go by speed. That's it. Like you just want to check the 40, make sure that you get the fastest guys at the draft, and you'll be good to go. But no, the big things like you pointed out, um, you know, 40 is like to a point, it's important. Like you don't want wide receivers out there running like 4.7s. I think the cutoff is kind of like 4 or 6 is where it starts to get like real dicey as far as wide receivers. Um, Height and weight important. I get the trend towards some of the smaller wide receivers we've seen lately, but I think this year we are kind of getting spoiled with some of those big guys that are coming out. So love to see that. It's tough because a lot of the stuff you kind of get before the draft, like age, whether they're an early declare or a senior. I think like O'Doon, is it O'Doons or O'Doonze? I always mix it up.
Honestly, I don't know. I've heard both. So
I like O'Doons. O'Doon's the senior. I mean, he's kind of the one that I'm interested in. I want to see both of the Texas wide receivers. I have seen 2 comps this week for people saying that 80 reminds them of CeeDee Lamb. And what? Like, where is this coming from? What? Where are you on that? Like,
Brett Coleman, I don't know. Brett Coleman, I love his videos. I feel like he gets ahead of himself sometimes. It's like I think he's a very smart guy, obviously, but I don't know if I see that one. I don't know if I see that one. It will be interesting to see how whatever his numbers, because I think he's billed as like kind of a big body, but I wonder how big he actually is.
yeah. Yeah, Danny Kelly from The Ringer was the other guy that had the CeeDee Lamb comp, and I think he's taller than Lamb. It's showing like 6'4" and sub 200. I think Lamb may have been at like 198, something like that. So I
Yeah,
mean,
he's around
probably
that.
the same build. But yeah, that's a wild comp. I love it. But yeah, like I want to see how fast. Again, going back to speed because it's super important. Xavier Worthy and Troy Franklin are. See what our guy Lad McConkey turns out there with those shuttle drills.
Hey, I
It's
mean,
just
honestly,
there's
for
so
him,
many
I
good
think that
wide
is
receivers
important.
this year. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, wide receiver is looking very strong, and I think we're going to see some pretty like good times. I think, like you said, like 40 is important. I would say more so for the guys where we like the really skinny guys where we're kind of like, okay, like this is their calling card is like the speed, right? So like Jalen Hyatt was a good example last year where like everyone's like, oh man, this guy's like gonna run a 4.2, and he ends up running like I think it was like a 4.4, which is good, but it wasn't like he was so skinny that it's like, okay, well, yeah, he should run a 4.4 if he's that skinny. So like yeah, Xavier Worthy, I think, is a guy where like I'm looking for the weight, just like is he it's not as important, but whatever. If he's 180, that's a little bit better than
Yeah.
165. Like, and let's see what else. Who else? I
Do we
think
get
yeah,
testing
80
from
Mitchell will be.
Malik Neighbors?
I'm sorry.
Do we get testing from Malik Neighbors? Is he going to
I don't think he's
participate?
running. I don't think he's running. So yeah, that's kind of sad. I mean, whatever. I'm not super worried about that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. I think really, yeah, it's like I agree that 40 is important, but I don't think we want to just necessarily disqualify a guy if he's not like, as long as he's not 165 pounds and slow. Those two things. You don't want him small and slow. But if they're like whatever, like 200 pounds and they run a 4.55, like I still think we want to lean on the profile and lean on the production. It's really just like you can kind of have it as a tiebreaker one way or the other for guys, but don't I think especially for receiver, you don't want to put too much in uh, of your eggs in one basket for the combine, and don't
Yeah.
overreact for because we see guys like Tyquan Thornton,
Yep. Every
whatever.
time.
There's a long list of guys where it's like, oh damn, they ran a 4.3, and so now we're gonna take them in the second round, and it's like, okay, well, did they produce? Like, did they do anything in college other than just they're good at running really fast?
Yeah.
Let's see who else. Yeah, I think two guys. Lad, people are saying Lad will be interesting. Yeah, I think he's a guy where it's like, yeah, like does he run really fast and really show out? And Pearsall, those two guys, whatever, maybe they get pushed up into the second round.
Uh, the one thing we are getting cheated a little bit. I mean, cheated's probably not the right word, but like not getting to see uh little Marvin Harrison Jr. out there with that frame hitting like 22 plus miles an hour this season. That's pretty ridiculous. Like I think that would have been pretty cool, but I totally get like he's, projected top 4, top 5 guy, so you don't have to test, but like that would be a fun like full profile to have up on do you ever go on the site Mock Draftable where it's like the spider chart?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's, just the great wide receivers and tight ends that are just like the entire graph basically, or they look like Pac-Man where it's just got like one section that's missing. It's good stuff.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's much must watch TV if we get to see MHJ at whatever 6'4", 225, run a 4.3 and bench press like 30 times or whatever the hell. That'd be pretty fun, but whatever. He's not. He doesn't have anything to gain, so I
Yeah.
understand it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, like the two guys that in the article they're talking about are John Ross and Tyquan Thornton, where it's like they got pushed up just purely based on their speed, and it's like, oh, it's sexy, or they run a fast 40, where it's like, okay, they're not really doing anything much for us. So then last position is tight ends. So what are we looking for at tight ends, and kind of what are some like cutoffs that you're looking for, and anybody in particular that stands out?
I mean, tight end, the big one is 40. And do you want to pull up the chart? But yeah, you don't want anybody over a 4.7 with that. I mean, there's productive seasons, but they're not really like, in terms of like fantasy football, like they're not seasons that matter to us as fantasy football managers. I hate saying that because it sounds so dismissive and elitist. It's not good. But yeah, I mean, like tight end is the one where like Raz is like everything. Like that'll give you the whole story. And I mean, like it's such a wild position too, because like draft capital kind of doesn't really even matter that much either. Like, is you get guys that as long as they're getting the opportunity at some point, if they have that elite athleticism, they'll get in there. And I get that opportunity is tied to draft capital as well, but it's such a screwy position that like it's just kind of a cheat code with like your third, fourth, fifth round picks to just, take flyers on in your rookie drafts on tight ends that have an elite, what is it, relative athletic score.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty great. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like everybody wants to see Bowers. I I feel like he's gonna come in like lighter than we're expecting. Even like it's projected like he's
I think
projected like
probably like
6'6".
I've seen as low as 230. I wonder, like, 230, 235 probably. And I don't, he doesn't look super tall based on the pictures we saw.
Yeah. So is that like 6'3", 230, you think?
I would say 6'3", 230, 235.
Yeah, so
He's a
that's
weird.
like it's Evan Ingram is the profile. Like I think that's like the exact same measurables that Evan Ingram had.
Yeah,
Um,
Evan Ingram ran super, super fast. I think he ran like low 4.4s. Like he was
yeah,
super, super fast. I think, yeah, I mean, like whatever. Like he's not, we know he's not like a Gronk where he's just gonna be like a dominant blocker. I mean, he looks solid enough as a blocker, and I think he's competent in that area in terms of like kind of like as like a H backy type guy in blocking. And we know he's a good receiver. They used him in the running game even. So yeah, I think maybe people will. That's one where I think maybe people would overreact and be like, oh well, he's only 6'3", 235 or whatever. If you can get any discount on him, I would definitely
yeah,
take it because I don't think it really matters that much because of, I mean, the man's profile is absolutely ridiculous.
yeah,
So yeah, that's it. I know we were just saying Raz is the only thing that matters, but it's like you got to treat each one as their own little special snowflake, and I think he is like the most special snowflake of tight ends. So
wow. Bindle's 1.04 is what it sounds like. Brock Bowers. We just got a little glimpse into the rookie ranks, maybe. I don't know.
brother, I don't know if I can take him over Neighbors, but 105 definitely.
Right on.
Let's see. So yeah, one more tweet is from Tej Seth is step one, draft a fast tight end. Step two, blank. Step three, profit. So yeah, and we see our boy Noah Fant over here. So who will forever stand. So
we're gonna
like you
cash
said,
those
Evan
checks
Ingram.
someday.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna cash those Noah Fant checks someday. Don't worry about it.
Someday it'll hit eventually. We see Kyle Pitts, Evan Ingram, Noah Fant, Njoku, Hawkinson, Mark Andrews. So yeah, I mean, like obviously it's not every. Like, we see OJ Howard, whatever. There's Chig. There's some misses, but I think, what is it? Sorry, I'm reading the chat. I think overall, like we said, Raz is the most important thing, except for if there's a crazy, crazy unicorn like the Georgia boy. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's not like any. Jatavian Sanders looks like a guy who is going to be pretty solid athletically. I don't think he's going to be super, super huge. So I wonder if that affects his RAS a little bit, just for the fact that he might be like 6'3" instead of 6'5". But anybody else that's standing out to you or that you're super, super jazzed about?
Isn't there the Florida State receiver that may be converting to tight end that's like 6'7" or something like that?
That's a good call out. That's a very
Yeah.
good call out.
I'm struggling with his name.
It's Johnny Wilson.
That's it. Yeah.
I think he weighed in at 6'6", 238, I want to say. So that's a weird one where it's like, I mean, the most likely outcome I think is that he's going to switch to tight end just based on the fact that there's not that many 6'6", 238 receivers. I think a team will probably draft him with that in mind, which would make him a lot more interesting in Dynasty, especially. Because he is very fluid and like he does like there. I think if you put on some weight, he could still hold on to that fluidity. So that's really nice.
Absolutely.
Keep going.
Oh, that was it, man. Like that was my take. Like I'm excited to see, if he does like formally announce or how that works, or I guess the team that's drafting him if they decide. So I always enjoy stuff like that as like a Lynn Bowden stan from back in the day, like guys that have like multi-positional capability. I celebrate that. I enjoy that stuff. I don't know. It's oftentimes doesn't really go anywhere, but it's fun.
That's a really interesting one. Yeah, two other guys. Any Stovers or Jaheim. Jaheim is very small, so like that's the one where it's like Bowers is small, but he just is such a like a crazy profile that I'm willing to just like kind of throw it out the window because his Raz isn't going to look good just for the fact that he's so small, most likely. So Jaheim, I'm not super into. He kind of profiles more of like an H back type. Stover looks fine, but I don't know. Not super interested. Third round, if they have fine enough Raz profiles and they're in the like, I'll take them in the third round. I mean, but not something I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
So once again, we will caveat with just Noah Fant. Please buy him, and that's really all we can say.
Bye.
We're gonna hop into the draft. What spot are we at right now, sir?
Yeah, you're not going to believe this, but we're in the second half draft slot. We're in 111, and I'm like, I'm getting real sick of it. To be honest, like I feel like we keep getting stuck at 108, 109. This is the first 111. I don't know. What do you want to do?
Oh, I mean, I kind of want to just piss. Like I don't clip that, please. I kind of just want to piss and just take wide receiver. I feel like we've been going a little bit RB heavy, and I just want to see how it feels to do a little classic piss boy draft. So we'll see.
I agree. Happens. I think it's going to be a perfect fit. I'm excited for it. So we got CMC going 1, Tyreek number 2, CeeDee Lamb 3, Bijan 4. Gosh, Justin Jefferson is just too cheap at the 105. Like, get out, man. Why can't we get up there? We need to run with the Eagles.
We got hit him with the gritty drafting Justin Jefferson. Very fitting.
It's on brand. All right, so we're coming up in 2 picks. What are you feeling?
I'm down for if Puka or AJ Brown fall, I'm definitely down for that. And then Nico or it's gross like taking some of these receivers. But I don't. Yeah, you want to go AJ Brown?
Yeah, definitely. Are you good with it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's put some pressure on 12.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see what if he goes.
Click.
I mean, I'm fine with Gibbs or Kyron or JT. I'm just not sure if we just want to switch it up and do something different. But
yeah, I feel like we've taken RB detours early a lot lately. Do you want to embrace the piss and just,
he took Adams 13. Okay. You're driving the boat. What are you feeling?
Are you emotionally attached to Kyron? Do you feel like we need to do that one?
Or do you want to go DJ Moore and just say, fuck it, switch it up? I don't know.
Let's do it. Yeah. Let's get unique. I mean, Devontae Adams just went at the 13, which I think is perfectly defensible. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, I think we've both been on the Devontae and Diggs are too cheap in all formats train.
Yeah. Marvin at 15. I love it. All right, so we've got AJ Brown and DJ Moore as our first 2 picks. So let's check out the board.
So someone's going to get, maybe someone will get Brees and Kyron or Brees and JT if they want to get some testosterone going.
Yeah, that's a pretty fun start.
Achan goes over.
Noted. The great Achan JT debate of 2024. It's going to fuel us this summer.
I didn't want to dig too deep into our startup because I'm planning. I was going to do a video earlier this week on it, but I'm like, I kind of want to get more like deeper into it before I do it and kind of just whatever. Get a little bit deeper into it so I can actually give some more in-depth analysis of it. But yeah, you took Jonathan Taylor like right before me. Was it one pick or two picks before me? He fell all the
Yeah.
way to what 4.8 or something like that, which
Disgusting. You have to do it there. Yeah, that was ridiculous. And then yeah, you got Achan right after that. Just beautiful. Like worked out for both of us.
yeah, you know what? I don't usually draft a lot of running backs in startups and especially this off season, but it was just like the value was just falling so nicely. And I ended up with Achan at 410, Etn at 503, and then Kenneth Walker at 7.3. So I mean,
Disgusting.
I think it just I needed to take the value. I couldn't pass that up. And we were talking about in the sleeper chat, but it's like, yeah, this time of year, it's like what's it called? Captain America, where he's like a little tiny scrawny guy in February. The running backs are all the tiny
Yeah.
scrawny guys, and then once we get to August, everyone's going to be clamoring for those juicy testosterone filled running backs. So I'll probably try to move it, probably one of them at least, maybe
Yeah.
two. Um, so we'll see. Kenneth Walker scares me a little bit. I've never been a huge Kenneth Walker guy, to be completely honest, even though I am a Michigan State fan, just because of his receiving profile. But I mean, if anyone's gonna like fall into a Nick Chubb-ish, whatever, 1,500, 1,600 yards and just a shit ton of touchdowns,
Yeah.
probably him. But
Could
I
be
don't know.
him. This board is looking a little wild. We got 2 QBs that went in round 2. I don't think I've seen that yet this year in my drafts.
And they're both stacked with one of the receivers, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
We got a Josh Allen Diggs and a Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith. We got your boy Laporta going at pick 25.
I love Laporta, but I can't do that. Like the great thing about him last year was how cheap you were able to get him. Like when it's, beginning of the third, middle of the third, it's too much pressure to score too many points for a tight end there. Like it's tough.
I was literally just about to ask you, like, how do you feel? Because it's just, I think it's just also the fact that there's so many good options at tight end now.
Yeah.
Like McBride, Andrews is going in the 5th round, which is just absolutely bonkers to me.
Yeah.
Kincaid, whatever. There's just a lot more options. Kelsey was real far down with the retirement possibility, and now he's probably going to get steamed back up. But I wonder if Kelsey ends up flipping Laporta. They kind of like wherever they kind of meet in the middle. Like maybe Laporta moves back into the 30s and Kelsey moves up into the 30s, and I think it could happen.
They could. All right. So we're coming up in 2 picks here. We've got AJ Brown and DJ Moore so far. Do you want to live a little and grab a little Malik Neighbors after the turn?
Ooh,
Start with
well,
Mike Evans.
I mean, do we want to take the ADP value and tank, or do we want to go Neighbors and then just see who falls back to us?
Do you have that wolf ready?
Oh, I do.
You want it? Do you want to scoop up some value? You want to do it?
Let's do it.
All right. Ready?
Yeah. We got tanked out. 7 picks past ADP. I think it makes sense to take Tank. I mean, I think he could get pushed up later on with the injury news and everything. And I would like Neighbors. I was thinking Neighbors. If he falls to us, let's definitely take Neighbors. If we don't, if Neighbors does get taken by Pollock here, who do you lean here between Keenan, Kupp, T. Higgins, or Lamar or Kelsey?
I still don't like taking QB this early.
Oh, Neighbors fell to us.
We don't have to worry about it. You want to take Neighbors?
Hell yeah, brother.
Let's do it, man. All right. So far, Bud, we finally got – this is our get right week. Are you ready for it? So far, we've got A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Tank Dell, and Malik Neighbors. We are fully whizzing. Look at that. We talked about water weight for the combine, and look at us. Just Captain P Pants over here.
we're pissing more than the small running backs after they chug 6 gallons of water before the combine.
The Chug Boys. Let's get it. Oh man.
Let's see. Let's check the chat really quick. Is this the year of the Stephon Diggs decline? My buddies seem to think so. I mean, Coach and I are both on the fact that it's a little bit of recency bias, just on the fact of everything going on. Our friend Bush Johnson just took him in the 5th round of our startup. I still think once we get closer to the season and there's less stink on him, I think he'll move back into like early 2nd round, I would say. I don't know. He didn't show any signs of like actually being bad other than the fact that he just ran cold. Like from a points per game standpoint, the last half, even if he does get moved, the 2 options are he's with Josh Allen and he's the number 1 receiver. Okay, that's great. If he gets moved to some team trades for him, they're going to want to feature him. So either way, looks good to me.
Yeah. So plot twist. I'm kind of out on him in Dynasty now. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like, I mean, even at like the cost is fine, but like if I have him, I'm trying to move him. So I know I need to follow up with you in one league about it because we've been interested. And I'm driving down my own price as we speak right now. Look at me negotiating against myself. So this is good. But yeah, like I feel like we're pushing it pretty close to the edge with some of these vets. We've got Keenan, we've got Devontae, we've got Tyreek is I think a year or 2 younger than most of them, and then Diggs, and it's like if I could still get a good return on him, I'll sell him. But like I'm a year. I like to be a year early rather than a year late. Like I'm fine with that. So it's just the vibes are something's real off, and like I don't know. It's tough because yeah, like a lot of the peripherals and stuff like that still looked all right, but I don't know. Like number ones don't usually just kind of keep getting fed but not produce. And it seemed like he was drawing targets but not doing much the second half. Like it was just bizarre. And the offense completely changed what they were doing. I don't know, man. Like it's a weird situation.
Hey, I mean, I think there's a fair case to be made. I personally see it as I don't want to overreact on like whatever a 7 or 8 week sample size with a mid-season change, which I just feel like that throws such a wrench in everything when it's just like you switch something up in the middle of the season. I don't know. I don't want to chalk up too much to it, but I definitely don't think you're like there's an argument to be made. Like he's older and he did fall off second half. So
yeah. And it's so weird because it's like you can't put your finger on it either. Like there's no like definitive thing of like what happened. So I don't know.
Yeah. No. We don't like, it's not like we saw that he was injured or something where it's like, okay, 100% we know he's falling off. But
all right, brother, we're coming up in 3. And you know what? They're playing our song. You know who's there?
Marky Mark. Do we? I will throw out. Do we want to value hound a Pacheco? Oh no, okay, good. We don't have to. We don't have to fall on that landmine. I think I would have taken.
Oh.
Do you want to go and then take whatever receiver falls back to us?
I mean, do you like the value on Reed or Andrews here? Because we're getting Reed past ADP.
Yeah,
8 or 9 picks.
Does Pollock doesn't have? I say we do Mandrews, and then I like all these receivers. So
okay, I agree.
I feel like we lock in one of these. They're all ADP values, so we're gonna get one of the 3. So I'm fine with that.
Oh, come on, take JSN. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
all right.
Okay, so this is the real question: Jaden Reed or Jordan Addison?
I like Jaden Reed. I like the versatility. and I like that he could emerge as the number one. I don't. There's, with J Jeff there's no way that Addison emerges as the number one. He could still put up numbers he did last year, but I like Reed. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm good with it. I don't know. I don't
Cool.
really have a strong lean one way or the other on those two. The one thing
Yeah,
I will note for Jordan Addison is that Hawkinson, I mean, I think he's going to start in the
true.
pup and maybe he'll be out for longer than that. And I don't think they'll, so I think he might get a boost for the first half of the season. Obviously, in best ball, we're not playing for the first half of the season, but whatever. Slight plus there for you. We'll probably get few extra targets in that first 6 or 8 weeks.
Do you want to run through this beast real quick and brag up this team, because this is feeling pretty ridiculous so far?
Hell yeah, brother. So we are straight pissing through 6 rounds. We got AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Tank Dell, Malik Neighbors, Jaden Reed, and then we got our homeboy Mark Andrews at tight end. So you know what? This feels pretty damn good. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Not being locked out at wide receiver like we have been the last couple drafts. So
Oh man, all it like just put the running back down. Put it down. You can come back to it. You're going to want the wide receivers. We've got running backs at home. They'll be there later in the draft. Just wait. Like, just get the elite wide receivers.
put your T pills down, okay? It's okay. You don't, they, you can take them later on in the off season, but not right now. It's piss boy season.
Yeah, man. This is too good. I like this squad. I think this is my favorite that we've drafted so far. It's shaping up nice.
Yeah, and
You got any surprises here? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just asking if you see
Aaron Jones
any.
pick 51 seems pretty early by a badge.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry also early. Hit him with the gritty, brother. 53. Let's see. Any other super big surprises? I don't think so. Christian Watson pick 69.
Nice. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
this is a little bit of a wild. I don't know. I don't know what is going on. I feel like there's been some craziness. Some Adams went right before us. Right? It's kind of crazy.
yeah, it's something, man. I still can't get behind the JSN price tag. Like, what are we doing? It still baffles me.
You know what? I'm not a JSN guy. I think it's the profile and it's the fact that they hired the coordinator from Washington and some Lockett might get moved. That is being factored in. So I don't know. I think JSN is fine. It's like you kind of have to hit a parlay of a few different things to really have him pay off. So I don't know. I'll probably have a decent amount, but it's not like a guy I'm like super like into.
I'm going to imagine that people drafting best ball teams in February are very familiar with parlays, so that's a good thing.
Yeah,
No,
I would
this can
assume so.
happen.
It's so funny. I was talking to my girlfriend and I was just talking to her about like me streaming and everything, and I'm like, yeah, like it's kind of crazy because like there's still a lot of people watching best ball videos right now, and like only the absolute crazy people are watching and drafting right now. So I'm like, when August comes around, like the normal guy in your workplace who's just like chilling and like doesn't know who JSN even is going to be searching
Yeah,
YouTube and everything. So it's truly
that's what I'll
year
say,
round.
man. Like, getting started on the best ball drafts earlier last season and like running through a couple of them with you, like you really do get into a groove. And especially when you start to notice like the trends with, ADP risers and fallers and stuff like that. And you can kind of like, get adventurous and like wait out picks, or, you got to reach a little early to get somebody based on what's been happening lately. Like, it's a huge advantage, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming everyone here watching is a complete sicko. But if you're not, if you're just strolling through here, yeah, definitely the best way to prepare for any season long or anything like that. Like, just get your reps in.
All right, bro. So we are coming up here. We've got, what is it, 5 wide receivers and 1 tight end. So could be a good time to start thinking about QB and running back if you wanted to.
So we could go Fields. What running backs are available here?
We got Pollard, Mixon, Connor, and then wide receiver we can wait on.
I feel like we should push Fields or Kyler. I kind of like Kyler better, honestly, but I don't know if we have a
I do
stack.
too. Yeah, I like Kyler more.
I mean, maybe Neighbors is. I'm assuming it's MHJ at 4, but
Yeah.
crazier things have happened. So,
all right, it's going to snap back to us. He took Fields and Pitts.
he's getting that Atlanta stack. Did you see the video today on Twitter with Fields?
You're going home. Yeah.
All
right. What
do you? Yeah, are you feeling running back here, or do you just want to? Bowers is available and he's an 8, almost 10 picks past ADP. Do you just want to do that and then just load up on running backs later?
I love it, dude. You want to do it?
Yeah.
All
we can just be done at tight end. I mean, that's the 10 picks of ADP value. So I mean, I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm not usually not usually a 2 tight ends early type guy, but I mean, I think that fell to us pretty nicely.
Yeah,
both guys passed ADP, and yeah, now we kind of have our bases covered, and we can just hammer out rookies as they come through and take some running back value.
Damn running back. Yeah. So what we've got Kyler at QB now. AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Tank Dell, Malik Neighbors, Jaden Reed, Mark Andrews, and just added Mr. Brock Bowers. So I'm digging it. And yeah, we did get caught in a little tight end run here. Looks like a running back run as well. So
Pitts, I understand he did it for the stack, so I get it. I don't know. I like Pitts, don't get me wrong, and I think he will be better if they get Fields, but still feel like I prefer Bowers.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with, I mean, we kind of saw the blueprint for how you can effectively use a rookie tight end with our guy Laporta. I'd assume Bowers goes to a team that knows how to use him and wants to use him in that way, and isn't having him run decoy routes for Jonnu Smith and stuff like that. So
hey, Jonnu was released, so
there is that.
Pitts can finally eat, hopefully.
Gosh, I hope so, man. That dude.
So what's going on here? We got Hawkinson this early. I get that we're playing for week 17, so I mean it's not the worst pick, but it still just feels like that's going to be tough. I mean, I guess it's a little bit better in these 20-round drafts you can take 2 other tight ends and cover your off. So I think it's not terrible.
Oh, brother, can you pull up this question from Tanner here?
Yes.
Is there a chance Bowers falls to the Colts at 15? Could you imagine my elation if this does happen? That would be ridiculous. Little Dallas Clark out there. He just a lot of pressure to pick an elite number for Bowers. So oof. I would love it. I'd be
is 44 still it's not retired or anything, right?
I don't think it's retired. I think they have it in like the ring of honor, the horseshoe of honor, whatever they want to call it. But yeah, 44 is an elite tight end, like old school tight end number, especially when he used to run out there without gloves. Like that dude was wild.
If Brock Bowers gets drafted by the Colts, he wears number 44 and gets hair plugs, then that man is going to the moon.
Just need the scroungiest goatee possible. Like, I love it.
Yeah, so he looks like a computer program or something. It's kind of crazy. Like the man is a dog. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like
he's doing like pre-roll commercials for Allbirds. Probably is what it looks like. Just athleisure clothing. Like definitely looks like an extra from an athleisure pre-roll YouTube commercial.
Yeah,
It's
he
good.
looks like an Austin Tech bro or something. Like it's
All right, man. We are
okay,
we are
let's see.
coming up in 3. Let's
Who's
lock it
coming
in.
up here?
So we could go back to hitting wide receiver. We've got some QBs, none of which we are really stacked with.
We could do Marquise and
Kyler, yeah.
hope he goes back. I don't think it's like I don't think it's impossible he goes back.
No, I mean,
prefer
especially
Franklin, but
yeah.
and then we should probably start taking some running backs.
Yeah, so we could do that and one of those. All right, so Goddard went in front of us. Do you want to go receiver, running back?
Yeah, let's go Franklin, and then let's take a running back on the way back.
I love it. Troy Franklin, good with it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, man.
6 wide receivers.
That is a ridiculous wide receiver.
So then running back, we got Chase Brown, Brooks, or Hubbard. What do you have a lean there?
I mean, Brooks, I worry about the early season production, especially if he's coming in as our RB1. Do you feel like the runway is clear for Chase Brown?
I mean, I'm not super into him, honestly, but okay. Yeah, so Brooks got taken. So we're between Chuba and Chase Brown. Chuba has been getting a little bit of hype recently because the coach said he was gonna ride him. So, but the ADP value is Chase Brown. I kind of like Chuba better, to be completely honest. So it's like 10 picks of ADP. I don't know.
Yeah, let's go with the guy we know is the number 1 right now. Like, I'm fine with that.
I mean, Chase Brown's
the sexiest pick.
Yeah, it's not the sexiest pick, but I think we have to start taking some running backs. Chase Brown was like a 5th round pick, and he didn't. I mean, he looked good when he did play, kind of like a Jalen Warren-y type, like explosive rusher. I don't know. I find it very hard to believe they're going to run into next season with Chase Brown as the lead back without bringing out anybody else in. So, I mean, because there's just so many pieces that can fall right now. Like there's so many just free agents. And I mean, we know the rookie class isn't amazing, but whatever, take a guy in the 4th round or something. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not super. I don't have a lot of Chase Brown anywhere. It's not like I'm super out on him in general. It's just this time of year, I'd rather take him when we know whatever. If he does get a good situation, I'd rather take him then.
Yeah.
And Chuba looked pretty good last year. I mean,
I thought so too. I mean, Canales is bragging about how committed he is to running the game. Sounds like a lot of heavy loads to get passed around. So hopefully they put an impetus on revamping that offensive line and, give Chuba some running lanes and field a competent football team this year. That would be fun.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Canales was just absolutely feeding Rachaad White. I mean, I think Rachaad White is a much better receiver than Chuba, but I mean, it's not like Rachaad White is some really good runner of football. So I think Chuba is probably a better runner of the football based on all the advanced numbers. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think he's a good bet to make at pick 110. Like this is a pretty good range for running backs historically. So I like him as a first, and we got a lot of rounds left. We can take some rookies and some bets and mix it up.
Absolutely. I do love that Ty Chandler pick there in the 11th.
He was getting steam today. I forget, I think the coach in a press conference was hyping him up. So
we're getting flamed now for the Troy Franklin pick.
I'm sorry?
We're getting hit for the Troy Franklin pick in the chat. It's good.
No running backs on the board. Should have went Chuba and Roshan or Brown and Roshan. I mean, whatever. We'll take 7 or 8, and I feel pretty good about our. I feel pretty damn good about our receiver room. I mean, like right now, if we take one more receiver, like in the last round, like we're fine. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I'm fine with it.
Where are you at on Jerome Ford this year?
I kind of like him. I think that Chubb, obviously, he's what 29, and he's coming off an ACL tear. Ford looked pretty solid as a receiver and and explosive as a rusher.
Mm-hmm.
Browns offense obviously looked better with Flacco and not Watson, but I mean, I think
Yeah.
I like the offensive scheme, and I think whether it's contingent value and he's kind of like whatever, more the third down back plus, or whatever. If Chubb is not as good coming off the injury, I think there's outs for him to be a pretty solid pick.
All right, bro. You're running point on this one. What are you feeling? We're
Okay,
up in
well, let's
two.
just shift over to the RB tag.
Okay.
I guess what other? Can you scroll
uh,
up a little bit?
that's up.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm fine with. I honestly don't mind Singletary.
Okay.
I say we go Singletary and then see. I like Singletary,
Okay.
and we have Tank Dell, so we have a little Houston thing going on.
Oh, there you go.
And then the other guys, I like Herbert.
Okay.
Not okay. So I would go
We're
Herbert
back
here.
up. You're going Herbert here?
Herbert or Jaleel. I don't know. I'm not super into Kendre.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those two? Do you have a lean one way or the other?
Between Kendre and Jaleel.
Or or
I,
or
I
or Herbert, yeah.
I'm down with Herbert. You want to run that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Roshan will get more work, but I think we saw last year that like I think Herbert's talented. He just was hurt. And if the offense is better, then I still think Herbert is a talented back.
Yeah. All right. So we'll take a look at the squad. We've got the infamous 1-3-6-2 build so far with Kyler at QB, Chuba, Devin Singletary, and Khalil Herbert at running back. And then wide receiver, A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Tank Dell, Malik Neighbors, Jaden Reed, Troy Franklin. And at tight end, Mark Andrews and Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously Kyler is a good first quarterback. Andrews and Bowers super strong at tight end. Feel super good about our wide receivers, and we're just gonna attack running back through volume and just hope we get some guys ping ponging some weeks, and hopefully we can take some rookies later on that can give us some late season upside. So yeah, I mean I think we got some people in the chat who are I think whatever they're a little bit scared about pushing running back this far, but I think I'm probably one of the people where like I like pushing a running back as far as I possibly can. And so I don't know. I feel fine with this. I don't know about you, but I feel perfectly fine with pushing running back this far.
Having I hate the way this sounds, but like having done enough drafts, I definitely feel better about landing the plane, just spamming running back late, and you're not getting names, but you want to get the opportunities later in the draft. I think that's the way to do it. So we hit on a lot of premier wide receivers early, tight ends as well. So what we take one more QB and then just land the plane at running back, and I feel like we're right in it. You know,
Yeah, I mean we can take one more. I think probably one more wide receiver to get us to 7, but like it can be 19th or 20th round, and I feel pretty comfortable with the 6 that we have.
yeah.
So, let's see. Who's going around this range? We have our boy Lad McDonkey going at pick 138. Dontavian Wicks. He's an interesting one. How do you what are your thoughts on Dontavian Wicks? In Dynasty and
So,
best ball overall?
I love the dart throw in Dynasty. Love him in best ball as well. I don't think his price is too egregious. Um, it's tricky kind of like sussing out the stats and stuff like that because the way, like, I think he had some injuries, and then the way Green Bay used receivers was just off a little bit. But then you do some scouting and watch the cut ups of him just absolutely smoking dudes off of the line for his build at like, what, 6'3", 200 plus, like 6'4" maybe, but and just looking like Devontae Adams. It's like, gosh, like I'll get in on it at cost.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's cheap enough where I'm willing to take the shot in both best ball and in Dynasty. He's been going pretty early in drafts I've been seeing, so it's been hard to catch him falling. He's pretty frothy right now, but all right, we got your boy Braylon Allen here.
You want to get real sick with it?
I'm down with Allen or Estime here. Let's see. Ooh, Ronnie Rivers, pick 154.
Yeah. I feel like we can scoot at which one do you think Pollock is more likely to take?
Probably whatever one we don't take, honestly. So
okay. Do you want Braylon Allen or Audric Estime?
I'm fine with either.
All right, let's do it.
Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
What is that?
We got the juiciest running back in the draft. Okay, yeah, he took it. Estime. Okay, well,
do you want to clean up QB here?
I was gonna say we could go. What are the ADPs of the running backs right here, and then otherwise,
160. So we're a little early.
I mean, I'm fine with Moss. I don't know. We're up against the clock. I don't know.
Moss or Cousins?
Oh, we're gonna get autoed. Yep. Oh, okay, we got Moss. Okay.
All right.
I'm fine with that. I feel like because if we don't have any stacks, that's the weird thing. So wait, let's think through quarterback really quick and see who we can stack up here.
So we have,
check our receivers. We have
Philly's gone, Chicago's gone, Houston's gone.
We don't have. This is tough because all these quarterbacks are probably they go pretty early. So
we could pull a Daniel Jones with Neighbors going to the Giants, maybe.
We could. I mean, if one of these other Kirk is a crazy ADP. We probably should have taken Kirk, honestly. Now that I see how far the ADP is, we should have taken Kirk. Okay, well, that's my bad. I was not paying attention to the ADP. But if Watson, I think if one of these other guys falls to us, we just take the ADP value, and I don't know. There's nothing. I like we don't really have anybody else to stack up. So I mean, I'd rather just get a QB, and maybe we can. Do we go 2 QB or do we go 3 QB?
Depends on who our QB2 is. I'll push back with that.
We'll see. Yeah, so. I guess let's see who falls. Yeah, I'm definitely regretting taking Zach Moss over Kirk Cousins. Okay, I'll take the L there.
It happens, man. We're again, this is spring training. We're not in the bigs yet. Like we're rounding into form. We're just getting reps in. Okay, like it's fine. 14th round. What are we worked up about?
I want to talk about Demario Douglas really quick.
Of course.
In Dynasty, I just took him. He fell. What did he fall? 14-10, which I feel like it's pretty good value there. I feel like I've seen him go like in the 12th round a couple times. Maybe that's just in my bulletproof Discord drafts where guys really like him. But I mean, he put up very solid numbers as a rookie, and I mean, they're probably going to bring somebody in, but like it's a pretty barren receiving core. So I don't know. I think he might be in line for for a decent amount of work. I mean, that's and with it, the numbers he put up in his rookie year, I think he could be a sneaky pick this late. I mean, I know we don't love pieces of the Patriots, but if they draft a quarterback and there's not that much else in town, like he was pretty good as a rookie, and I don't know, I'm into it.
Do you so like a couple of questions. I wanted to get your thoughts on if we can go back a little bit on Wicks too, because we started talking about him and then
Got derailed.
we had to pick. Yeah.
I like Wicks. I like him better. I like him in both best ball and dynasty. In best ball, his price, he went pick 142. I've seen him go way earlier than that in best ball. Like I think I've seen him go like 110s, 120s. Don't love him as much at that cost, but definitely want pieces of the Green Bay offense. And I think like we're talking about Douglas and Wicks put up pretty similar numbers as rookies. So definitely into it, making a bet on the Green Bay offense. And then in Dynasty, it's honestly a pretty similar case. I think I don't know. He could be the wide receiver too. So, I mean, that's a fine cost if he goes in like the 13th, 14th round. Whatever. You just want shots of that offense. That's kind of take shots on what we think will be good offenses. Green Bay looked very good at the end of the year, and you just are hoping draft like you're right and just think, okay, well, he's talented and Christian Watson always gets hurt. So what if he's the wide receiver too?
All right, so we're up in 2. And speaking of QBs with crazy ADP values, I think we've got 20 spots of ADP here on Deshaun Watson.
Brother, we got to take the nasty man if he falls to us.
Just hold your nose and click draft.
Yeah. It doesn't feel good, but
what do you want to do after that? We've got we'll have 2 QBs, 5 running backs, and 6 wide receivers.
I say we do. I don't know. Do we have a super strong lean with Marshawn Lloyd, Ray Davis, Jalen Wright, or not really? I kind of like Lloyd the best.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So the real question is, Pollock already has 2 quarterbacks. Do we take Lloyd first and then just push Watson because we don't think he's going to take him, or what?
Yeah, let's get wild. You want to do it?
Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. Like we can still take Daniel Jones if we really need to.
Gamesmanship. I love it. Now we just got to stare it down. Trey Palmer, Cornhusker.
Hey,
we made it. All right.
That's a. I mean, hey, that's a lot of ADP value. What? That's almost 30 picks.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You want to run through the guys here?
Less bad about passing on Kirk Cousins like 30 picks past ADP. So
yeah.
And hey, I mean, Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles. I mean, I know he was really good, but I don't know. It's not crazy at all to say Deshaun Watson outscores Kirk Cousins this year, especially with the injury. So
I can't love that enough. Like using the FUD after you missed out on drafting the guy, like, nah, he's a piece of shit anyway. I don't want him. Nah, he's coming off an Achilles. Like, nah, not my thing. I do that all the time, dude. Like, I love it. All right, you want to run through the squad?
So at quarterback, we have small boy Kyler Murray, nasty man Deshaun Watson. Running back, we have Chuba, Devin Singletary, Khalil Herbert, Braylon Allen, Zach Moss, and Marshawn Lloyd. So we got a good mix of vets and rookies. Yeah. And then at wide receiver, we have Swole Batman, AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Tank Dell, Malik Neighbors, Jaden Reed, and a young, supple Troy Franklin. And then at tight end, we have oh shit, here we go again, Mark Andrews and Brock Bowers.
Love it.
I will say my actual biggest regret of this draft is not playing the oh shit, here we go again soundbite when we took Mark Andrews, because I was thinking about it after and I'm like, that I fucked up real bad on that one. So I'm sorry. That's on me, guys. I will do better next time. Okay. I'll in my journal before bed. I'll write it down. I'll visualize. Okay, me clicking the button, and next stream I'll be on my game. I promise.
You really need to work on being a better ally to Mark Andrews. Is what this is. That's pretty great, man. I mean, like if they like, I feel like we just keep getting these wild opportunities to draft Mark Andrews late in the 5th round, and like if they're just gonna keep giving it to us, I'm gonna keep taking it. So whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, one sec. I'm just checking on my on our dynasty draft because Bush is on the clock and he's in Norway, and he told me to auto him, but I'm not sure if he want. That was for the previous 2 picks. I don't know if he still has a queue set for the pick right now. So I'm gonna go check and see what he said really quick while we have a quick intermission. So why don't you vamp for a little second?
Yeah. Ferris in the comments called out that Watson put up a couple of top 10 weeks, a good chunk of the time that he played. And yeah, that's right. It wasn't the prettiest football at times, but he definitely did score fantasy points. And I mean, the big thing is like the Browns are stuck. So I know, we're drafting best ball right now, but like they're going to have to see what he's got this season. So I imagine, obviously like training camp's important for every player, but like they're going to put a lot into making sure that he's comfortable in the offense that they're going to be switching to. He's got some really nice weapons there with Amari and the little guy I can't quit, Elijah Moore. But we'll kind of see what happens. And when you're getting a guy that's put up 3 or 4 top 5 or 6 top 5 seasons this late in the draft, like, yeah, like it's a gross click, but yeah, there it is.
I mean, he's just, it's obviously we're not endorsing him as a human being, of course, but I mean, I think I took him in my last 2 startups as well, like in the 6th round, which is pretty crazy considering that Jared Goff now goes in the 4th round. Don't get me wrong, I love Jared Goff, but I mean, is it that insane that Deshaun Watson with his rushing ability will outscore him, even if he's not a great like real life passer, which I think he could get better and kind of come back to form, but much better rusher, and he's going to give you some floor and ceiling with that. So,
all right. Speaking of, we are coming up, and we could pull our last receiver.
Yeah. What other running backs are available here? Because don't hate it. Oh, I like Shipley.
Okay.
So what we could either go a 3rd quarterback, or take. I mean, I feel pretty comfortable with these 2 quarterbacks, to be completely honest. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Carr is a big ADP value, and Daniel Jones just went. So I mean, we could take Carr, but we don't have any stacks, so I'm not really sure it's that much to our lineup, honestly.
I would almost like to pick up what we can get here and wait on QB maybe until round 20 and just take a dart throw on a cheap rookie and see.
Okay.
If we get
Elijah Moore goes. Okay. So what quarterbacks does Pollock have?
He's got Fields and Lawrence.
Does he have any Saints?
No Saints.
Okay. I mean, do you want to just take Shipley and then just push it?
Yep. Good.
Yeah. I mean, or I mean, I don't think, like I said, I don't think Carr adds that much to this team. So we could take, I like Pearsall. Do you want to take Pearsall and then just, I don't think we need a 3rd quarterback, to be completely honest. I mean, why don't we think through it? We have time. So, I mean, I think he would be my pick. I think he could go 2nd round. Unless we want to take Carr and just I mean, there's other rookie wide receivers we could take, but
I don't really want to take Carr, to be honest. Like, I like Pearsall here.
Okay. Okay, so we have our 7th wide receiver, and we have 2 more picks. So we can either go third quarterback if someone falls to us, but we're done at wide receiver. We're done at tight end with Andrews and Bowers. We could be done at quarterback unless something falls to us. So I mean, we could go 2-8. I mean, we could go 2-9. I don't know. I guess how many
I'm not
running backs do
opposed
we
to adding
take
more
here? I mean,
running
probably
backs.
8, right? Like I think we started pretty late, so I think we should probably take 8.
Yeah, I
Do
agree.
we I don't know if I want to call this a luxury pick because I guess we could go 3 QB. That's probably I think we should probably go 3 QB just to kind of cover ourselves, but
If we go 3 QB, I would like to take a shot on a rookie just because I mean it's 20 rounds and like you never know, like you could just back into CJ Stroud accidentally, you know.
because I think if we have 8 running backs, I'm not really sure how much extra value the 9th running back really gives us versus 3 QBs, even if they're not stacked, like maybe they just go nuts in one playoff game and help you sneak through in the tournament. Whatever. I mean, you never know. I think that's where I would lean. But what quarterbacks are even left right now? Let's see.
Let's take a look. When Donald Parham starts getting taken, you're deep.
That's real deep. Okay. Hey, if
We
Bryce
got-
Young falls to us or Russ or JJ McCarthy, I'm fine with those 3.
Yeah.
I know as much as I don't like Bryce Young, he's gonna be starting. He's gonna be starting, and he has Canales. They're probably gonna draft somebody. They're probably gonna sign somebody. Dusty Adam Thielen is there. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be the Bryce Young stan here, but
I wish I could give you control of this and force you, the Michigan State homer, to click on JJ McCarthy. That would be so great.
I mean, so
Do we like
shout
any?
out to Pat Kerrane, legendary upside. I was talking to him in a Discord about McCarthy, and just it's like I don't obviously the combine's this week, so like he could get the steam could be coming very soon, but it's like I'd almost rather just take him when I know he's goes to a team that is or like we know he's going to get super good draft capital and just take my shots later in the season when we know that, because it's like just we have a lot of we're going to do a lot more drafts, and I'd rather just have that certainty of when that's going to happen. I know it's not fun. I know Bryce Young isn't fun, but it's like we know he's going to start. Whereas JJ McCarthy, it's like he could just get redshirted for a year.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
no, it's
think
a
it's
very
the most
real thing.
likely outcome, but I think it is an outcome that is in play. Whereas Bryce Young, it's like he's starting unless he gets injured, he is starting. So
Yeah, I mean, like the stories you can tell yourself with JJ McCarthy are really easy. Like the Vikings re-signed Cousins to like a 1 or 2 year deal, trade up to draft JJ and kind of roll with what they have and let him learn under Cousins for a while. Like to me, like if I were running the Vikings, like that's a dream scenario, pretty much.
yeah, no, that is an absolute and I think who did I see? There was another team that I saw that was kind of like looking like they might move up for him. I think the Broncos would be kind of fun for him. I don't know. I do think the steam could get real heavy where he goes like somewhere to Atlanta, or another team could trade up for him in the top 10. So, and McCarthy goes. So you won't have to hold me down and force me to eat my vegetables in JJ McCarthy.
I mean, we do have a solid 30 picks of value here with Bryce.
Yeah, I say we take Bryce and then a running back.
Okay.
I don't think this guy's going to take him.
Yeah, 3 QBs. What do you want to do at RB?
Lobby.
Did you see that video?
Yes. Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Okay. Do we go do we go Russ or do we just go 2 running backs? I kind of feel like we go Russ. I don't know. I know it doesn't. I know it's not fun, but I mean, I just think in 20 rounds, I
Yeah.
don't think the extra running back is really gonna like push us over the edge. Where I feel like the quarterback just could help us advance.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, and then running back we have AJ
Dillon.
Dillon, who could sign somewhere and just be like a goal liney type back. Or we have some rookies. We have I don't hate Izzy. I don't
Yeah.
hate it. AJ Dillon, Izzy's honestly Zeke is fine too. I don't know what any of those top 4 guys. I'm
You
fine
pick.
with. You choose your own adventure.
Which one?
I kind of like Zeke honestly, but
Oh my gosh, I did it. I'm getting better at it. All right. Why don't you run through the team for us here, sir, now that we're wrapped up?
all right. So to finish off our piss boy draft, we got Kyler Murray, we got Nasty Man, we got Mr. Incredible, we got
Unlimited.
oh yeah, fuck. We got Chuba, we got Devin Singletary, Khalil Herbert, Thick Boy Braylon Allen, Zach Moss, Marshawn Lloyd, Will Shipley, and Zeke Elliott. So we got a good mix of some old guys and some young guys.
Bro, I
At
think
running back,
the
we got 8,
BMI,
and then
it's like the BMI boys at running back there, like we hit that.
I mean, yeah, that we definitely rounded out our running back room. I feel pretty good about our running back room. And then we got AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Tank Dell, Malik Neighbors, Jaden Reed, Troy Franklin, and slick Ricky Pearsall to finish it off. You know what, Ricky Pearsall has been getting some good pub lately. We'll see how he runs at the combine, but could go second round. So that's a pretty good bet to make at that cost. And then we got Mark Andrews and Austin Tech Bro, Brock Bowers. I really like this team. I think this is the favorite team we've drafted so far.
Yeah, I love it. So the guy in front of us that took 4 QBs, the spite pick of Bryce Young, has Joe Burrow, Stafford, Derek Carr, and Bryce Young.
Is he? And he took Ronnie Rivers at pick 154.
Yeah.
Rico at pick 159. Wait, keep running through that.
Hang on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Russ didn't look that bad last year. He was actually pretty fantasy viable. I mean, I know we don't know where he's playing, but I'm assuming he'll be starting, and he was pretty solid. So, also shout out our boy Ferris, big dynasty sicko. I think he did a high stakes draft with Jacob last year, and I'm trying to get him on the channel as a guest here in the next little bit. Oh
my gosh,
Russ to Pickens sounds pretty fun. That sounds really nice. Yeah, what does he know?
We've got Ronnie Rivers about 100 picks ahead of ADP. Also a Marvin Harrison Jr. drafter.
Yoshi, pick 178.
Steamed up Yoshi. How about that? I love it.
I mean,
you just make the board happen. Like I feel I've been there. Sometimes you just got to get your guys.
We got our boy D Ply says Russ fell somewhere on the Jimmy G Tannehill spectrum of uncertain. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It was just purely like, do we want a 9th running back? We don't really need. I think the value is just in. Hopefully, he gives us 1 week of usable value, and he was fine last year. Like he's definitely not a lock to start week 17. I agree.
Yeah,
could be a bridge.
I can't tell you how good it felt to get back to the wide receiver heavy draft. Oh my gosh, you want to talk about cozy? Right back in that out of the 11 spot, we really pulled a miracle out here. Got the sliding Tank Dell, Malik Neighbors, Mandrews late fifth, Jaden Reed fall into us, scoop up Kyler in the 7th. Like I really like this team. Landed the plane with drafting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs in a row. Determined.
Yeah, I mean, like we were talking about just the landscape right now in still February. It just feels way better to go zero RB this time of year. There's just so much uncertainty. Obviously, you could luck into some guys falling into some nice spots, but why take the chance right now? It's just you don't need to.
Yeah, I dig it, man.
Shout out our boy
It's a fun
Al.
team.
I think at 311 is real nice. Yeah, we value 100 on that. We got it going. So anything else you want to cover before we head out of here?
No, man. Excited to see what the combine brings us this weekend. Hopefully all the players make it through safely. No injuries, no hammies get messed up. Excited to see what we get out of the running back measurables and metrics, and kind of start getting our draft plans put together for rookie drafts coming up in May. Man, I love this time of year. Like I can't wait.
Yeah, honestly, I have a lot more picks this year than I did last year. I think I was still pretty new to Dynasty, like whatever, 2 years ago now, going into the rookie draft last year. So I think I moved a lot of my picks, and this year I'm trying to be more of a pick hoarder. Shout out to our boy D Plout, who kind of got me into that mindset. But yeah, have a shit ton of 101s because I started tanking real early this year. Like when I was like, I had a couple injuries. I had a lot of Dobbin teams where I was like, fuck, like I'm out of it. Like I'm done. After like week 2, I'm like, I'm done. So that's something that Jacob Sanderson, shout out to him, thinking, super smart guy. Obviously he was kind of pushing that, like, okay, well, if you're going to be bad, you want to be the worst. And I don't think people lean into that edge enough. So I have a lot of 101, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm probably going to be trading a lot of them, to be completely honest, but because I have a lot of teams where I already have like 2 quarterbacks. So if I can get the Brinks truck rolled up, I will definitely do that. But yeah, I'm super excited. The combine I was watching the combine even before I played fantasy and everything. It's just a fun event to watch. So I'm hype.
It's good stuff, man.
Who's that?
That's the in-season sickos league with Ferris, right? Like that. I feel like that draft is going to be a bloodbath because there's some heavy hitters
there's some
out there. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what shakes loose in that league. That's gonna be pretty righteous because Johnson's in there too, right?
Yeah.
Be good, man.
Yeah, we got Ferris won that league. I mean that draft he had was like pretty ridiculous. Like he had Achane, Ayuk, he got I think Hurts and Kyler. And he got Rashee Rice like really late. Like it was for context, it was a mid-season draft because we're absolute fucking sickos. And he just hit all the right points, like everybody he could hit. And so yeah, congrats to him for shipping that boy. Okay, so yeah, I just want to show you guys the helmet that L Coach freaking gave to me as a gift. This is the best gift I've ever received. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But yeah, this will be up in that top left corner right there next week. So looking forward to that. And then I just want to do a couple housekeeping things. We have this Friday, we have Josh McAtee. I don't know if that's how you say it. I've never heard it out loud. So he's from the Ship Chasing Discord, and he's a big Dynasty and best ball guy, super smart guy. So be sure to tune in for that. And then I will be doing a Dynasty startup strategy video on Monday morning. Wednesday night, Mr. L Coach will be back here with me. Not sure what we'll be covering yet, but probably combine related. And then next Friday, I have Sacrilegious from Legendary Upside coming on, which is a big get. So I'm super excited about that one. So make sure to like this video, leave a comment below after we finish to help the algorithm, and make sure if you're not already subscribed, please do, because we got some really good guests coming on. So thanks everyone. I'll coach. Salute to you, brother, and hope everyone has a great rest of your night. Thanks.
Later, y'all.